So today we are doing the 2008 multiple choice question from the AP Calculus No Calculator question number 1. So the question asks, the limit as x approaches infinity of 2x minus 1 times 3 minus x all over x minus 1 times x plus 3. The answer choices that they give you are A, -3, B, -2, C, 2, D, 3, and E, non-existent. So to solve this problem, you have to expand what they give you so that this whole term becomes limit as x approaches infinity of -2x squared plus 7x minus 3 all over x squared plus 2x minus 3. So as a rule, we compare the leading coefficient the coefficient of the leading exponent for both the numerator and denominator. So in the case that the leading coefficient for the numerator is greater than the denominator, then the limit as x approaches infinity of f of x is equal to does not exist or positive or negative infinity. But if the numerator is smaller than the denominator, then the limit as x approaches infinity of f of x is 0. In this case, the leading coefficient for the numerator and denominator are both 2. So we are also going to be doing number 2 from the set of 2008 No Calculator problems. Here we are given the integral of 1 over x squared times cx. And you have to solve that. And the choices that they give you are A, ln x squared plus c, B, negative ln x squared plus c, C, x to the -1 plus c, D, negative x to the -1 plus c, or E, negative 2x minus 3 plus c. So to solve this, you should rewrite the integral of 1 over x squared times dx as the integral of x to the -2 dx. This would make life simpler. Instead of working with fractions, you would just work with a straight term. So what you do for integration, or basic integration, is you would take the term, which is x to the -2, and you would add 1 to the exponent. Then you would bring the exponent down and add 1 to that. Since we're working with indefinite integrals, you would add plus c. So this becomes x to the -1 all over -1 plus c. And then when you simplify that, it would become negative x to the -1 plus c. So your answer is D.
I'll be doing number 3 of the 2008 multiple choice no calculator section. And so the problem they give you is the one in purple, and they ask you to find f prime of x. And so you can either do that by multiplying this whole thing out or using product rule. And product rule is much more efficient, so I'll be using that. And the product rule is the first times derivative of the second plus the second times derivative of the first. So the first, x minus 1 times derivative of the second, and you recognize this as chain rule. And so chain rule is the derivative of the outer times the derivative of the inner. And so the outer, which is regular power rule, times derivative of the inner, 2x, plus second times derivative of first. And so I will be multiplying these together so that it looks nicer, more condensed. And if you look at the answer choices, this isn't the answer, but if you further condense it, it will be. So you can see that these two have a common factor, and so you take that out. This x squared plus 2 cubed to be left as x squared plus 2, and you just simplify from there. 6x squared minus 6x plus x squared plus 2. And yeah, add like terms. And you will see that your answer is D. Okay. Okay, so the next problem I'll do is number 4. And so the original problem is again in purple. And so the first thing I did was rewrite it to separate it because it's easier to work on it like that. And so notice that we have a composite function. And so the method to work with a composite function is to use U substitution, which is basically reverse chain rule. So in this case, your U is 2x. So I'll write it on this side. So from there, you take the derivative of this equals 2. Multiply dx to both sides to isolate du. And as you can see, this is 2dx while this is just regular dx. And so to make this just dx, divide both sides by 2 and you'll get 1/2 du equals 2 dx. And so to rewrite this as your 2x as the u, this will be sine u 1/2 du plus cosine u 1/2 du. And so I'll rewrite this again so that the constant is on the outside. It's basically the same thing. Or, well, yeah, it is the same thing. Whoops. Yes. So from there, you just do regular anti-differentiation. So this will be negative 1/2 cosine u plus 1/2 sine u. And because this is indefinite integral, do not forget the plus c. You have to have the plus c. Do not be a plus c victim. And from there, you just plug the u back in. So negative 1/2 cosine 2x plus 1/2 sine 2x plus c. And you see that your answer is B. Thanks for watching.